Hi there, Pastor Jackson. Why the long face?
Well, Bishop Lakes. It's about my church. I hate to come off as jealous or envious, but it's kind of getting to me that your church is growing a lot faster than mine. I mean, I'm happy for you, of course. But I'm starting to feel sorry for myself. We both went into and graduated from seminary at the same time. So I don't understand why your church is growing so much faster than mine. Do you think that maybe I'm doing something wrong? I mean, I do what I feel pleases God most. I preach the unadulterated word, I have sincere praise and worship music, I help the community, and I make time for all my parishioners. But yet, I still can't get a lot of people to join my church. And it's so embarrassing when I hang out with my other pastor buddies. They talk and boast about how many new members they gain each Sunday, and all I can talk about is the few converts I led to Christ. I feel like such a failure. What do you think I could be doing wrong?
Well, Jackson, I'm glad you asked. It's not a good look when someone has been pastoring for 10 years and still doesn't have at least 1,000 faithful members. As we both know, my church is 100 times more populated than yours. You have your 300, and I have my 30,000. It's obvious who is more successful of the two. How about this? I'll give you some advice. I've learned some things here in the States. The Christians here are not like the Christians back at home in the UK, and from what I've seen, your focus is all wrong. It's not conducive to getting a large membership in this country.
What? American Christians are different than Christians elsewhere? And my focus, you say? What's wrong with my focus? My focus is on truth, love, giving God the glory, and on ministering to the lost and hurting souls. So what do you mean by it's all wrong? I can't find a single thing wrong with my focus.
Yes, Pastor Jackson. There is a stark contrast between American Christians and Christians in other countries. I'm going to be honest with you. The way you conduct church is more suitable for elsewhere, but not here in America. You have nice intentions, but you're never going to draw the big crowds with that focus. You need new techniques. Remember how it was when we first started out? We were both super focused on meeting the needs of people and whatnot. And that's cool and all. But it got us nowhere. So if you want to get the big numbers, you're going to have to make some big changes. You have a choice to make, Jackson. Ministry or more members? The choice is yours.
I just don't know, Bishop. I just don't know. Sometimes I do feel like giving up. I don't feel like the community appreciates all that I do for them. I've done everything to help these people. I've opened a soup kitchen. I've collected the members' unwanted clothes to give to the poor. I even give Christmas gifts to the poor single mothers to give to their kids on Christmas. But yet and still, they still end up joining the rich church down the street that gives all their money to their pastor to make him rich.
I'm telling you, Jackson. These American Christians are ungrateful. They wouldn't know ministry if it bit them in the you-know-what. They don't want that stuff you're giving them. They don't want their needs met. They don't want truth. They want a show. I'll tell you what. Since you're a friend, I'll tell you some of what I mean by techniques before I put out my church growth DVD. In that DVD, I give all the secrets on how to triple your church membership within 18 months. Yes. Just 18 months. I had the same talk that you are having with me right now with one of the biggest mega church pastors in the nation. You've seen him on TV, I'm sure. He told me how he did it.
Maybe you're right. Maybe all this serving the less fortunate and meeting the needs of the people is all in vain for American Christians. They do tend to be very superficial. I remember that when I did that mission trip to South America, the people were more desperate for the Holy Word than they were desperate for food. They wanted true biblical Christianity. They would show up to services by the thousands just to hear the simple gospel. We had no choir, no band, no cushioned seats, just the pure unadulterated gospel. They would sit for hours on the hard ground just to hear more about Jesus.
I'm telling you, Pastor Jackson, you're wasting your time if you expect the same reaction in North America that you got from South America. These people don't want what you're offering. Yet you keep giving it to them. That's why your church is empty. Seems to me that you're realizing that trying to get more members makes more sense than trying to do ministry in this nation. As you know, having 30,000 members and all, I'm a very busy man. I don't have a lot of time, so let's get started. Americans are spoiled and are used to being entertained. They can't stand even 5 minutes without being entertained. So they expect their churches to entertain them as well. They don't want true biblical Christianity. They want a circus. They want a theatrical production. They want Broadway. They want all Leawood.
But Bishop, that sounds like a hard task. I don't have enough money or staff to do all that stuff.
Don't worry. It's easier than you think. I'll help you. It's just like catching fish. Jesus said he would make us fishers of men, right? Trust me. There are plenty of fish in the sea. There's no shortage of Christians. The only shortage is in your church. We have to work on you getting what's out there into your church. When we go fishing, what do? We have bait, a hook, and a line. You need all three. So first things first. You have to draw them in. You need bait. The first thing is to work on your charisma. You must admit that you can be pretty boring at times. You just stand there behind the pulpit with your Bible and your little notes in an outline. You do nothing but talk for 20 minutes. You don't scream. You don't sweat. You don't pace the floor. You don't stand in the aisles. You have to be more interesting and exciting to get these American Christians' attention. Next, you need to go to the bookstore and look at all the new doctrines that are being taught. People want fresh revelation. Look for these keywords and phrases in those how-to books. Look for words like blessings, positive thinking, prosperity, and wealth. All the authors should stick out to you because they are all famous pastors and bishops. Please get acquainted with these new doctrines so that you can effectively preach the prosperity gospel. Health and wealth. Name it and claim it. Word of faith. That kind of stuff is real popular in America right now. Scratch their itching ears. Third, you need to network so that you can have a guest speaker come in. Not some nobody, but someone that is well known. This will get your name spread around town. In the UK and in other places around the world, the pastors are humble and meek like Jesus was. But in America, pastors and preachers are celebrities. Church in the United States has become Hollywood. So in order for you to populate your church, you need to have the most famous pastor in your city to conduct a revival at your church. All of his adoring fans and church groupies will tell all of their church groupie friends that Pastor so-and-so or Evangelist what's-her-face is in town at your church. And they will all show up, like it's a concert or fashion show or something. That famous preacher will make you and your church look good. You can get famous vicariously though someone else's good name. Because you are so naturally boring, you need someone exciting to build up your celebrity status in this town.
Oh, I get it. Just like how people do with those Nike sneakers. You put a good basketball player in a pair of Nikes that didn't cost but $5 to make, and you'll have 1 million black boys and young men paying $125 for it just because they saw a famous person wearing it.
Exactly. Works much the same way. So get you a famous energetic evangelist or somebody to hold a 3-day revival. That's enough time for everyone in the surrounding area to attend at least one service. Wow them out of their seats, and they'll be coming back for more. You can just pay the evangelist by splitting half of the offering money with him or her. Fourth, we need to get you in the media. So work on preparing yourself a really hyped up sermon. I'm talking the works. Screaming, labored breathing deep into the microphone, and a crowd full of screaming, emotional women. A full-out production. Get your best drummer to hit that beat. You know which beat I'm talking about. And then angle the camera at your best dancers. Also, get plenty of shots of the hottest women in your church. Then you get a time slot on a TV and a radio station to put it on. When those folks see how fine your female members are, and when they hear how exciting you are compared to their boring pastor, they'll flock to you.
Wow. Now I can see why you have so many members. You really know your stuff. Please tell me more. I now know how to attract them with bait, but how do I hook them?
For that you'll have to order my church growth DVD. American church is business, and I'm a hustler. You didn't think I'd tell you everything, did you? Ha 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 ha.